Alright. Hey, it's Soul. And the day I got Chronicles Volume 1 in the mail, I killed it. Upside down. I killed it by the end of the night. Brah! For those of you who haven't picked it up, I strongly suggest getting it if you're like a fan, if you're a collector, if you want the art, if you're a lore slut, go get it. As in, get it on sale. It's reasonably priced at $40, which means don't get it for $40. Get it like anywhere else, like Amazon or wherever. Before I go any further, I'll warn you now, many spoilers ahead. So, 3, 2, 1. Volume 1 goes over everything that's happened before Warcraft's first game, Warcraft, Orcs, and Humans. The history covers a whole bunch of events, including the cosmic origins of the Warcraft universe, or the Great Dark Beyond as they call it, even though they could have called it space, the birth of the Titan Forged, and all the drama that they caused when their parents abandoned them or died, the Troll Empire and the magical Troll Empire that followed, the War of the Ancients and that little sundering thing that happened, the rise of human civilization up to Medivh's coming of age, and a whole ton of details between all that. The strategy games, books, comics, and the MMO touch on this history, but these were developed by different writers over a period of time, so there were lots of inconsistencies and conflicts. Volume 1 is pretty much the codified timeline of ancient Azeroth. Once all the volumes are released, the Chronicle will be like the foundation of the Warcraft universe, and it'll be the reference for all future content that relies on its history. Pieces of Volume 1 trickled out a while back and it whipped the community into a frenzy, like me. The review of the Chronicles release so far has been pretty positive, and I feel the same. Volume 1 does a pretty good job of tying a ton of lore together pretty gracefully, with a few cases of retroactive continuity or retcons. There are often sources of contention that anger fans who felt attached to certain parts of the history, but in my opinion, creating that sense of continuity is worth it. By the time I was finished reading, I am hungry to see the rest of it. I look forward to seeing not just the rest of the Chronicle, but the future of Warcraft that has yet to be determined. Which finally leads me to what I want to talk about. Some fans who have read all, some, or none of Volume 1 are more fixated on the end of the Warcraft story, not its continuation. I can see why, at least. It's fun to think about. Well, cynics just want to see the MMO die already, but whatever. We've already seen so much happening in Azeroth, and we've battled enemies of increasing height and importance. So after all of that, how close are we to fighting off the likes of Sargeras, or the source of his fear, the Void Lords? Will the World Soul of Azeroth wake up and smite everything as we know it? What if there's another World Soul out there being corrupted by the old gods, uncontested? Find out next week on The feeling of the MMO story has this increasing momentum, as if one day we're going to go toe-to-toe with a Void Lord, and while I can't explain that direction away, I disagree that we're going to get to that point anytime soon. Like I said, Chronicles is a foundation to the Warcraft story, and not a premise to the end of it, and we're only at Volume 1. Lore-wise, the story of World of Warcraft is only like 10 and some years long. There's a ton that's happened in that time, but in the Warcraft universe, much bigger things have happened over an unknown number of years. Volume 1 sets the stage of who's around after all the cosmic battling that left all but one Titan dead, and that Titan leads this burning crusade, out of fear of something worse than annihilation. The story of Sargeras is slightly altered to make him not just this malevolent force of destruction, but an actual villain who thinks himself the hero of necessity. His current objective is to destroy Azeroth, which houses the last known Titan in the Great Dark Beyond, space, before it's corrupted by the many old gods that have infected it. But give that some thought. That's a really high-level goal that exists probably only in the mind of Sargeras at this point. He's playing the really long game. As Azeroth locals, we only know that the Burning Legion just wants to wipe us out, and that the old gods are these things that also threaten the world. Universal corruption by the Void Lords is not really within our understanding, let alone the day-to-day worry of an adventurer. Heck, we don't even know for sure if Azeroth's Titan is in fact the last Titan, or if another Titan woke up on their own, or if one has already been corrupted and we're screwed anyway. But there is this obvious sense of urgency on Sargeras' part. After all, he was down for trying to take a shortcut portal during the War of the Ancients. He was okay with possessing Egwene to possess her baby, to open a portal to let orcs attempt to raise Azeroth. Now he's up for having a warlock from an alternate universe open a portal, a scheme that for all we know has been planned since Mists of Pandaria. Maybe he, like the Titan's creations, forgot his mission and is just single-mindedly focused on destroying a resistant planet like Azeroth. Or he's really scared that the old gods are close to corrupting the Titan. So, what do Azeroth's defenders do? If they lose to the Legion, Azeroth is destroyed and Sargeras moves on to destroy everything else. If they continue to beat back the Legion's schemes, eventually the Legion could just get fed up and travel there on their own. No portals, no nothing. We don't know how long it takes for a Titan spirit to become fully corrupted after all. I've said this in a number of videos and in forums all over the place. The story of Warcraft has escalated so quickly that it's hard for fans to not see the end in sight. Our characters became champions, and commanders, and class leaders. What's next? War Chief? Aspect? Titan fingernail thing? I don't know, maybe. But I'm gonna make a simple case as to why we can and should be none of those things. I said earlier that this is only the first volume of the Chronicle. It had to start somewhere, so it started at the beginning. We now know that the conflict of the Warcraft universe began long ago. The stage is set to present a big bad Voidlord as the puppet master of evil, but it's also set up this following scenario. If we stop the Legion's ability to fast travel to Azeroth and secure the old gods' prisons, or kill them, Azeroth will remain safe until the Titan awakens or the Burning Legion travels here without the assistance of portals. This will put that whole final boss plot back on the cosmic timeline. The threat is still out there, but there's literally nothing a bunch of adventurers can do about it, and we probably don't want to go knocking on a Voidlord's door. From there, we focus on the more intimate conflicts going on with the mortal races, cause let's not forget that it doesn't take a whole lot for people to want to kill each other in Warcraft. Parts of Volume 1 injected tidbits of information that set the stage for playable stuff in WoW, such as the upcoming Nightborn faction in Legion. Future volumes could easily do the same thing to lay foundations for future content, and as far as I've seen, there's no scheduled release for the next volumes. There could be mentions of factions in the Undermine or Kul Tiras, maybe name off a few unexplored landmasses. Easy. And the story could do with a more localized conflict and not the end of life as we know it. Take Garrosh, for example. Regardless of our opinion on his development and ultimate fate, he was a seed planted all the way back in the Burning Crusade who developed and went out in a flash of lightning 4 expansions later. Garrosh had dark ambitions, obviously, but as far as we know, he wasn't serving a higher power. And I think players would really enjoy these contained conflicts that affect the politics of Azeroth while keeping the world itself intact. We have Rathian and Anduin, there's, Trade Prince Gallywix, heck, there's Gammon and Mancraig. But what do you guys think? Forget Voidlords and Argus and all that crap. Where in Azeroth do you want to go next? Let me know in a comment below. And sub and like and whatever. That's it for today. I'm Soul. Stay breezy, guys.